Again I am here in the continuity of ethers. As it was asked by you, what would be the preparations of ethers, so that I am again here to describe important methods of preparation. Sorry. In view of that, the important method of preparation is that acid catalyzed dehydration of alcohol. Acid catalyzed dehydration of alcohol. This is very important methods. If you want to write down, there are some important instructions regarding the preparation, that when alcohols, for example, when ethanol is treated with, in presence of concentrated H2SO4, sulfuric acid or phosphoric acid or orthophosphoric acid at 413 Kelvin, it gives diethyl ether. So simply, if a question arises, give method of preparation of diethyl ether, you can write simply the acid catalyzed dehydration of ethanol. When ethanol is treated with concentrated sulfuric acid or orthophosphoric acid or phosphoric acid at 413 Kelvin temperature. This is a specified temperature. It should never be above or below. This must be maintained, otherwise the product will vary. Therefore, don't take it casually. It is very specific conditions to get ether by this method. Hence, when diethyl ether in excess treated with sulfuric acid or phosphoric acid, any one of these acids, at this particular temperature, it gives diethyl ether with the loss of a water molecules. This is the simple methods, but in what way it may be asked in the examinations, the most of the times its mechanism has been asked, and I hope again this could be asked, as at that situation you should have to start your answer in this way. CH3, CH2, OH. First, the role of acid. It ionizes to give, this means acid provides proton. So in first step, protonation of alcohol. Protonation of alcohol. CH3, CH2OH. Two lone pair electron at the oxygen, and the proton which comes from acid. This proton gets reacted to give protonated alcohol. This is protonated alcohol. Protonated ethanol, protonated ethanol, protonated ethanol. Because of presence of oxygen at this, the lone pair electrons or the electrons, bond pair electrons in between carbon and oxygen slightly shifted toward the oxygen in this way. Therefore, there is little deficiency of carbon at this deficiency of electron at this carbon. So, in the second step, this is the first step. First step, protonation of alcohol. Ethanol reacts with the proton which comes from acid and gets protonated Now in the second step, nucleophilic attack. Unprotonated ethanol. Very important point. CH3, CH2O H plus CH3 CH2O H yes. It indicates that the electrons are being shifted towards the oxygen, as the oxygen is more electronegative, so that it has tendency to withdraw the electron towards itself. So because of shifting of electrons towards the oxygen, it becomes slightly deficient of carbon. It has deficiency of carbon, and this alcohol which is enriched of electrons, this is alcohol, because of lone pair electrons at the oxygen atom, so that it is enriched and it is capable to donate the electrons to this carbon. Therefore, it behaves as a nucleophile. This unprotonated ethanol acts as a nucleophile and it attacks to this. And at the same time, means simultaneously, as you know that in the SN2 mechanism, nucleophilic bimolecular substitution reaction, during the reaction intermediate consists of a single step that is known as concerted state, that is intermediate state, that is intermediates. So it loses, it isolates along with the water molecule and products CH3, CH2O, CH2, CH3. This is protonated ether. This is protonated diethyl ether. It is unstable, and in presence of excess of alcohol, it immediately loses a proton. This is again gives protonated ethanol. It may be written like this: protonated ethanol, and it CH3, CH2O, CH2, CH3 means the aim which was to prepare ether that is going to be solved here. Diethyl ether means the process is again and again in the continuous system, so that during the preparation of ethers by the alcohol, we should have to use excess of ethanol. Hence, in the first step, protonation of ethanol, one molecule of ethanol gets protonated in presence of sulfuric acid or phosphoric acid under the specific conditions, that is 413 Kelvin. If it is 444, it gives alkene, so that your question will be wrong. Therefore, don't miss this temperature. Means protonation of ethanol takes place to give protonated ethanol, which becomes susceptible towards the nucleophilic substitution reaction, and another molecule of alcohol attacks to the protonated alcohol to give reaction intermediate, which loses a water molecules to give protonated ether. That protonated ether, in presence of excess of ethanol, converts into diethyl ether along with the formation of protonated ethanol. This protonated ethanol again react with the ethanol molecules to give the diethyl ether. In this way, the process again and again is being repeated to give large amount of diethyl ether. Very important method. This is because of its mechanism. It follows SN2 mechanism. SN2 substitution, bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. Most of the time this mechanism has been asked and very simple among all those mechanisms which are given in your textbook. This is the simplest and being asked in the examination. So that go through again and again, learn by writing. Don't mug it up, try to assimilate in yourself so that you will be able and capable to answer these questions. Method of preparation of ether, that is Williamson synthesis method. This is very important methods, and the merits of this method is that first, in this method symmetrical as well as unsymmetrical both types of ethers can be prepared. Second, aryl alkyl mether can also be prepared by this method. And third point, in this method in the large amount of pure ethers can be prepared. Hence, these are the merits, these are the benefits of these methods, so that this question is most of the times being asked as the naming reactions are which is the best method for the preparation of ethers. So, my dear student, you should have to learn it. It will pay you in the examination. Now, see the reaction. In these methods, the raw materials are sodium alkoxide as well as alkyl halide. In sodium alkoxide, when alcohol reacts with the sodium, it gives sodium alkoxide with the release of hydrogen gas. This sodium alkoxide, which behaves as a nucleophile, attack to the alkyl halide to give dialkyl ether, alkoxyalkane, along with the sodium halide. Now see the specific examples. When sodium methoxide reacts with the methyl bromide, it gives dimethyl ether, methoxymethane and sodium bromide. This is symmetrical ether. Important method is that in case of unsymmetrical ether, that is CH3 CH2 ONA plus CH3Br, SN2 mechanism, product is CH3 CH2O CH3 plus NaBr. Now, what are the main points in the preparation of ethyl methyl ether? Ethyl methyl ether, in case of unsymmetrical ether, a smaller alkyl group, means alkyl halide should be small. Alkyl halide, that group which is small, that should be alkyl halide, and the sodium alkoxide should be the large group. Means we can never use sodium methoxide. Sodium methoxide cannot be used in order to prepare ethyl methyl ether. If you are going to prepare ethyl methyl ether, you have to select the sodium ethoxide and methyl bromide. Methyl bromide, a smaller alkyl group should be there, because reaction follows SN2 mechanism. SN2 mechanism. As you know that sterically hindered compound doesn't undergo SN2 mechanism. Hence, to get good yield, we should have a smaller alkyl halide along with the larger sodium alkoxide to get good yield of ether. This is the raw material. Means both cannot be exchanged. It can never be the sodium ethyl bromide, and it can be never be sodium ethoxide. This is the correct way. This is the correct raw material which are required to prepare this ether.